This is the plaintiff, Etan Gibson. She says the defendant, her ex-boyfriend and father of her daughter, is being a stubborn you-know-what because he owes her money and thinks he can get away without paying her. She doesn't know what planet the defendant thinks he's living on because she's not going to let him get away with what he's trying to pull. Is suing him for the $3,688.43 he owes her and is looking very forward to her day in court today. This is the defendant, Charlie Daniels. He says he broke up with the plaintiff because he wanted a better life, and now he's being sued for things he simply does not owe. That's right. This is a lawsuit born out of plain and simple spite from a jilted ex. He's paid off his debt, and now the plaintiff is just grasping at straws. He's accused of running away.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated, come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, Etan, how do I pronounce your name?
Etan.
Etan Gibson.
Yes,
you are suing Charlie Daniels, your ex-boyfriend and father of your child, for $3,688.43 that you say he owes you and won't pay. Tell me what happened.
Okay, we initially got an apartment together after some rocky stuff. It was like our second apartment. We ended up getting evicted because 2 or 3 months into the apartment, he ended up losing his job. So the eviction was like $4,000 and it hit our credit because—
How was the eviction $4,000?
It was a lot of fees. It was fees for damage. It was fees for a back owed rent. It was.
And what do you mean by it was? Was there a judgment against you in court, or is the landlord seeking that money? What is it?
That was something that the landlord they took to court, but we never showed, so they were granted the—
Why didn't you show?
They didn't have an address for me in order for me to get the court dates after we left the premises.
Do you have something in writing from that judgment?
Yes. I actually have all of the paperwork that they summoned us with.
Why didn't you show up?
Well, I didn't receive no mail also, but I was able to pay the last portion of the rent because I had my last paycheck from work. She decided she didn't want to pay her end because she felt like I owed her to pay the rent.
And then you guys move into another apartment together.
She moved in to another apartment probably a week later.
And did you move in with her?
I moved in with her. My name was
Right. And you stayed together for how long after that?
Close to a year.
Close to a year?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So tell me what else he owes you.
After the eviction process happened, I ended up finding out I was pregnant in February of 2013. So that's when, for me, everything changed. There was no more IOUs, no more basically us having the problems that we were having. So we moved into the apartment together, and the agreement was that we were going to split the bills.
At this point, you're pregnant with your child?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Your child's how old now?
She's 2 now.
She's 2 now.
Mm-hmm.
You're pregnant with her, and what happens?
We got the apartment together. The agreement was to split the bills 50-50. The problem we had was paying the bills and getting the baby items. It was either going to be one or the other on his end. So he would provide me with what he could, and I would split it up amongst the bills. Well, one day he asked me, which was really in August, the day when the promissory note was signed, he asked me for $20 for gas money.
All right. You had him sign a promissory note that said that he owed you $800 and something. Mm-hmm. Okay. That is signed when? August of what year?
August of 2013.
Why is it that now, all these years later, you're suing? When did you guys break up?
We broke up just last year.
Who broke up with who? Because you're going back into 4 years and figuring out everything.
It was like 2.5 years, but he broke up with me.
No, the eviction was in what year?
The eviction was in 2012.
That's right. That's almost past the statute of limitations. Okay, not quite, but almost. So now, so because you guys broke up, now you're suing him.
Yes.
Who broke up with who?
I separated from her.
For what reason?
I felt like we wasn't making no common ground. After 7 years, I didn't see our future going any further, so I decided to leave.
Was she angry about that?
Angry, bitter, spiteful, everything you can name, she was that.
Oh, and what? What did she do that makes you think that?
Oh, what she done tried to come up to my job, get me fired. She done put up all the information on my fiance.
You have a fiance already?
Yeah.
Well, that was quick.
It wasn't too quick.
How quick was it?
A year. She done tried to come to her job. She done put up information.
To what? To your fiance's job?
Yes, ma'am.
And what do you mean by tried to come to her job?
She sent text messages saying that she was gonna come up to the job.
Do you have the text?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I see them? Did you go nuts?
Technically,
A little
yes.
bit. Now that you know I'm going to
because-
see the text, because you were making faces like that doesn't happen, that didn't happen.
because
Now
he
he's got
explained
some
it wrong.
text, I'm going to see something.
He explained it wrong. No,
Okay.
I don't have no gripes about the case because I was really mad. What happened was when he left, it was like, oh, I'm moving in with this girl. But he never said
Just
that.
like that? He went from you to her?
Yes. We broke up
So
in
you
May.
figured that he was cheating on you.
Exactly. We broke up in May. We actually went to Orlando May 26th, my birthday. Her birthday is June 10th. So they were in Orlando not even 2 weeks after we went to Orlando. So how it started was he told me, he said, well, I'm on a business trip. So I said, a business trip. So I called him. He wouldn't answer. So I called until he picked up. So he was
Psycho
like...
called him? You psycho called him.
Not technically psycho call. I
Oh,
called him until he picked up.
No. It's very effective. You psycho call him. You just keep calling until it's more trouble to not pick up than to pick up. You just keep calling, keep calling, keep calling,
Okay.
keep calling, keep calling, keep calling, keep calling,
So he
keep calling,
finally
keep calling, keep
answered.
calling, keep calling. Then he just finally answered.
Yeah, he finally answered, and he was like, well, get out of your feelings. And I was like, well, what feelings do I have? Like, I'm not understanding. You said it was a business trip. So then it went from there. The text message just did not start for me to be crazy until he involved my daughter. So he told me that, well, I'll give you the money. Come up to the job and get it.
Have you been to court to have to get child support?
Yes, ma'am. It took a minute, but I finally got it.
Okay.
That's when the text messages stopped because I no longer needed to ask him for anything or let him know that his daughter was still alive.
Does he see the daughter?
No.
Why haven't you seen your daughter?
She won't allow me to see my daughter.
Well, why don't you man up and put your big boy pants on
Believe
and go
me.
to court, the same court that's having you pay? Has it been adjudicated already? Are you guys in
Yes.
front of family court?
Yes.
But how do you not see your daughter in all these months?
I have tried over
What do
and
you mean
over
you
again.
tried? Did you go to court?
I contact her.
Did you go to court?
No,
Then
ma'am.
you didn't try. Be a father. They're not even that crazy. Most of them are about the baby. All right. She does have a promise. Hand me the promissory note. She has a promissory note that you signed about money that you were supposedly, that
Correct.
clearly is not just, we're in a relationship and I'm handing her my paycheck and we just pay for things together because we're in a relationship. She actually has you sign a promissory note during the relationship.
She did.
Saying that you're going to pay back $807.30. What happened?
The paperwork came out of nowhere. Every time I got paid, I handed her my paycheck.
Right, but did you ever pay back? Why did you sign this?
I felt like I had no choice.
Right, but why? It's so specific. It's $807.30 because she says that that's what she had been loaning you. It piled up to that.
It wasn't. It was going back towards her. Everything that she was loaning me was
Then
going
why
back
would you
towards the
sign
house.
this? Why would, like, in other words, if he says to me, I need you to sign this that you owe me $807, I say, no, I don't. I give you my whole paycheck. Why would you sign it? You obviously owed her that money at some point.
I felt like at that point in time I didn't have an option, just to satisfy her. I signed the sheet of
Because she was
paper.
nagging you? That's what you call duress? That's not duress. All right, now, tell me about the cell phone. What was the deal with the cell phone?
Okay, so the cell phone came after. He was working at the time, and he wanted a better phone than the phone he had. So he asked me to add him to my plan because he would get a better phone, and it wouldn't be as expensive as him trying to get his own phone. December, he lost his job, so he stopped paying the bill completely. I told him I wasn't going to be able to cover the bill and that he needed
You're
to
suing
pay.
for $305.69 from September of 2013 till May of 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That $305.69 encompasses time that you're together as well. Is he not paying this bill?
No. I have the
but
bills from
according
when
to him, he's handing you his entire paycheck.
His paycheck was no more than $400.
No,
He
I
had-
understand, but is he handing you his entire paycheck every time that
Yes,
he...
but at this
okay,
point,
so
our
what are you
rent-
spending it
at
on?
this
How am I
point,
going
our
to figure
rent-
out the pots and pans of your life
At
over the
this-
course of... I'm talking. Over the course of the last 7 years, how am I going to figure that out and try to find out where that money went? His answer is, well, Judge, that money's got, I'm handing her my paycheck. I go, yeah, it doesn't cover stuff, but then were you choosing to have it cover instead of what it covered, you know? Like,
Okay. Like he said, he would give me what he had. He would keep probably enough for gas or just random stuff that he needed, and he would give me the rest.
what's your defense on the cell phone bill?
Everything that I had, I gave to her in my paycheck. Whether she was paying that with the cell phone bill or not, I didn't know.
Okay. This only became an issue when you got another woman.
When we separated, this when all of this came out, because I was the one when she said, "Well, the child care," I was babysitting.
Hold on.
I was babysitting my daughter for a whole year.
Excuse me?
I was watching my daughter for a whole
Did
year.
you say
watching,
babysitting?
Well, I did say babysitting, but I
Don't
was
you
watching.
ever in your life say that about your own daughter again.
I was watching my daughter for a whole year while she was at work. When I go to work, I come, I watch my daughter. We didn't have any child care bills. I was watching my daughter. I feel like that the cell phone bill the cell phone was a gift to me in order for her to get in communication or get in contact with me and my daughter.
Where's the actual settlement that says that you're going to owe, that the two of you owe the $4,200 something dollars? Where's that?
It's in my phone, and it was
It's in your
taken.
phone. What do you mean it's in your phone?
It's in my phone.
How do I know? You can't just pull up you're suing for it.
It was an email, and the driver that brought us here took my phone with him.
Court is in recess.
All
Get some
rise.
access for her to a computer.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So somebody says, hey, she won't allow me to see my daughter, but at the same time, he didn't go to court and get a custody order. Is that a cop-out?
Totally, you got to give it a try. You gotta go for it.
You go to court.
Yeah.
Because that's my point. I mean, if you don't go to court, then it seems like, well, how much do you care?
Yeah, not much, obviously. Yeah.
Okay, this is driving me insane. I'm sorry about this. Come up. What? That looks so good. Tell me what is this thing?
It's a.
That looks like I'm literally going to steal it from you.
I hope you know. It's a vanilla ice cream. I got it down the block.
I'm like dying right now. That looks so good. I want that. We're going to go inside the courtroom.
Let's start with the $2,186.50 that you say is the amount that he owes for the eviction settlement. You remember that before we had our break, I said to you, where's the judgment itself? The judgment is missing. And the only thing you had, who did you get that from, by the way?
They told me, I called the
landlords?
Yes, and she told me that it was processed through credit.
So here's what they did. They sent you every court document except for the judge's order.
Okay.
And then they send you their own bill for $4,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Well, guess what? The judge's order doesn't say $4,000. $4,000 is what they want you to pay. The judgment against the two of you is only for $320.
Are you serious?
I am not kidding you. Now, that is not to say that they could file a lawsuit against you, in which case you'd have a fresh lawsuit against him. But unless you paid them $4,000 to settle a case, I'm not ordering him to pay you $2,000, half of something you haven't paid. They could say $10 million. Well, why don't they just say $10 million? They could say whatever they want in their letter to you. We have damages of $4,000, so we want you to pay that. But that's not. That's why I took a recess, because I wanted to make sure that it was as much as you were saying. So this is the only judgment that's affecting your credit.
I understand.
You owe her half of that. And that's $160. Now let's discuss everything else. We have a series of loans and the telephone charges dating from 2013. How am I supposed to dissect? I am not in the business of looking at every relationship and trying to figure out who had the salad and who had, the pasta, and you owe him $1, you owe her $3, wait, and now you owe. I can't do that. We're not equipped for that. When you folks play house, you play house. And it's very hard to keep score. And the best evidence of whether that money is owed is whether you were acting like it was owed. There was never a lawsuit until the guy left you. And we're talking about something that was years ago. On the judgment, I get you. I understand that's affecting your credit. He should pay half for sure. But on the rest of that stuff, after the man is working and handing you his paycheck, he assumes that, you're in this together. And then all of a sudden, he breaks up with you, and then you're suing for all this. No. I am ordering you to pay half of the judgment, which is $160. That is annual court costs in this case. Doesn't matter what you asked him for.
I even asked him in the text message that he showed you for my money. It wasn't something that just came about.
We're done. You picked him. I didn't. Okay?
Oh, yes, I did.
So the plaintiff prevails to the tune of $160. Mr. Daniels, number one, how do you feel about the outcome?
Feel pretty good.
You're okay with that?
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you something. The judge really came down hard on you for not being a good father and said you should go to court to get the rights to go visit your child. Are you going to do that?
Well, for one, I am a great father, and I am going to go and file the paperwork, which I'm already in the process of doing.
All right.
And we shall have judgment on that also.
Well, good luck. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You did this the wrong way. Officer McIntosh is waiting for you out there. Now, Ms. Gibson, Well, $160. It's a far cry from what you were seeking. You wanted to tell the judge something, but she made her decision. Too late.
Yeah, it was basically regarding the cell phone bill. She said I hadn't asked for my money, but I've been asking for money for a long time.
How do you feel about the outcome?
It's fine. I take
You sure?
what I got. It's okay.
$160, you're satisfied, huh?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
As long as it was.
All right, officer. It's waiting for you. Harvey?
Okay, Doug, it is so important to bring critical evidence to court. If you don't, it will screw up your credibility. Move to the back. I cannot stand this anymore. You move forward here. Okay, block that. Okay.